Beloved, your presence here is not random. Something beyond habit or curiosity gently interrupted your moment and invited you to stay. In this season, God is not searching for louder voices. He is looking for open hearts. Many speak, few listen. Many want visibility, but very few are willing to endure the quiet refinement that turns faith into substance. That is why you were called. Not because you are perfect, but because you are available. You carried truth quietly, protecting it even before you fully understood its value. When doors closed, you did not harden. When progress slowed, you did not panic. You waited, you trusted, you listened. And that waiting did something powerful inside you. It strengthened discernment. It taught restraint. Scripture says, "Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him." That stillness shaped you more than movement ever could. Now the story is shifting. This moment requires faith because hesitation can no longer lead. God is not asking for volunteers. He is reaching for those who chose integrity when no one was watching. Those who never chased importance but stayed honest even when honesty brought no reward. If you have felt uneasy lately, there is a reason. The routines that once felt safe now feel empty. Conversations repeat without meaning. Distractions no longer satisfy. That restlessness is not failure. It is invitation. Your spirit is being called forward. God has been watching the small things. How you forgive faster than expected. How you feel pain that is not even your own. How you obey even when no one acknowledges it. These were not random moments. They were training disguised as ordinary days. You thought you were being delayed. You were being prepared. The path narrowed not to punish you, but to focus you. Wide paths offered options and applause, but they also scattered your attention. So God led you another way, a quieter road where pride cannot survive and obedience becomes the only thing that fits. That is where faith matures. "My sheep hear my voice," Scripture says. Listening separated you long before you realized it mattered. You have not changed who you are, yet people respond to you differently now. That happens when clarity settles into a life. You did not raise your voice. The light simply grew stronger. It shifts rooms without effort. This world is loud and restless, full of stages and noise, but thin on truth that heals. So God is sending someone formed and quiet. Someone who understands that purpose is not performance, it is rhythm. That is why certain thoughts come before dawn, why peace appears only when you lean toward what once scared you. This is not imagination, it is invitation. Heaven's list is almost full, and your name stands out not because you demanded attention, but because you stayed attentive. You were being placed into ordinary spaces with extraordinary need. Families where patience is thin, workplaces where honesty feels risky, friendships starving for sincerity. You are not sent to correct, you are sent to embody something better. Transformation speaks louder than instruction. If your surroundings feel unfamiliar, that is not loss, that is movement. God is repositioning you where influence looks small but runs deep. When you say yes quietly, heaven begins aligning what needs to move. And this is only the beginning. Beloved, here is where many people misunderstand how God moves. They expect thunder, urgency, dramatic signs. But God most often works through small, faithful steps that don't look impressive to the world. He speaks through moments that seem too ordinary to matter. A thought while washing dishes, a name that keeps returning to your mind, a quiet heaviness that asks for honesty instead of distraction. Calling does not interrupt your life, it enters it. You clean something you've been avoiding, not because it is dirty, but because it no longer belongs. That action is not about the object, it is about making space. You are learning to release what once sustained you, but no longer nourishes you. You open your phone and feel prompted to reach out, not to fix or advise, but simply to be present. A short message, a gentle voice note, "I was thinking of you." Presence becomes the miracle. This is obedience without applause. You begin to notice patterns, habits that steal your rest, humor that hides your worth, routines that leave you unsettled instead of grounded. You don't need ceremony, you need honesty and the courage to let go. This calling looks like quiet decisions no one celebrates, choosing water instead of escape, turning the phone face down before peace is disturbed, stepping outside and letting your breath slow under an open sky. These are not small things, they are alignment. You may feel uncomfortable for a while. That does not mean something is wrong. It means something new is forming. Fresh strength often stirs before it settles. Growth makes noise inside long before it becomes calm on the outside. If your hands shake when you speak, speak anyway. If your voice trembles when you pray, keep praying. Courage is not confidence. Courage is showing up again and again. At some point, you may try to reason your way out of this. You may tell yourself you misunderstood, that it would be wiser to wait for a clearer sign. But here is the truth. The sign already happened. You cannot unsee what has settled into you. Pretending once felt safe, now it feels restrictive, like clothing that no longer fits. You are allowed to revise your yes. You are not bound to promises you made when you were afraid, overwhelmed, or surviving. That is not disloyalty, it is responsibility. God places time in your hands and asks you to treat it as sacred. People will notice the change. Some will be curious. Others may feel unsettled. You don't need to explain. A gentle smile and a quiet, "I've grown," is enough. Keep loving them practically. Kindness does not disappear with calling. It becomes intentional. When old tension rises in your body, pause, breathe. Tell yourself the truth. You are safe now. The body remembers old emergencies even when danger has passed. Give yourself patience. You are not in constant crisis anymore. Do not rush. Rushing is often fear disguised as urgency. Walk steadily like someone who trusts the path, because they have already survived parts of it. Create small anchors, a verse where you will see it, 2 minutes of stillness, one conversation given your full attention. These are the places growth hides. You will notice it over time. Things that once pulled you off course no longer hold power. Messages that once stole hours barely disturb you. This is not sudden change. It is maturity. God did not choose you quickly. He watched you. The small acts you thought were insignificant, heaven calls evidence. This assignment fits the shoulders that learned how to carry responsibility and sorrow together. Do the nearest kind thing. Often guidance waits just beyond the act you almost skipped. And now, let this settle. Beloved, you were not preserved to stand on the edge of your own life. You were shaped for use. Not loudly, not dramatically, but steadily and truthfully. You do not need to announce this season. Remember it privately. Mark the moment when the quiet pull became direction. When uncertainty returns, you will remember that you have walked shifting ground before. Carry only what God places in your hands today. That is enough, and enough is holy. When tomorrow comes, step into it as you are. Not louder, not smaller, just honest. Offer steady presence. Speak truth gently. Take the next right step. This is how heaven sends people, not as spectacles, but as living proof. I am available. I am aligned. I choose faith over fear. I release what no longer belongs to me. I take the next right step with trust. Amen.